This podcast is brought to you in part by P&P Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. On this episode of the DeREZD podcast, we're going to be talking about Watch Dogs and Mario Kart 8 and maybe some YouTube-y, Twitchy stuff too. We'll see what happens. All this and more on DeREZD episode 14. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to the DeREZD podcast, episode number 14. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me and hacking the world, Will Kelly. Will, how the heck are you?
I'm doing awesome, buddy. I saw a movie tonight. I've been playing lots of Watch Dogs this week. Life is pretty good right now.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You've been playing some Watch Dogs. I've seen by your PlayStation updates on my Now Live section on my PS4. So
it's nice to see some content on there from me, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We're going to get into that later in the episode. We got a packed show for you, but it's going to be a short show. So what do you say we get right into it?
Let's do it. Let's waste no time.
Sounds good, Will. You have an announcement right off the top, so why don't we just jump right into that one?
Yeah, well, I'm actually lucky enough to be fulfilling a lifelong dream of mine. I am going to be attending E3 this year.
Congrats, man! I'm jealous as can be.
Thank you, Thank you. I'm pretty excited. But while I'm there, I am going to be carrying around a camera and a microphone. And so I was just thinking if any of the listeners out there want to see or hear anything specific, or make sure that I kind of find my way to certain game booths. So that I could return and provide some information about that. I would love to hear about it, and they could just write into the show, right?
Yeah, totally. They can send us some feedback at vgpodcast@gmail.com. You can even go to the homepage at vgpodcasts.com. We have that great new little send voicemail button on the side, and you can send us a voicemail and let us know what you think of E3, what you want to see, what Will should cover, any people he should stalk at E3. We could do that as well. Will could be our E3 stalker on the VG Pod community. So do that, send it in, or even on Twitter. We can be reached at Dazme, or even better, at iLiam, since he's going to be the one that is there. Shoot us a note on Twitter, and we'll see what we can do to get your E3 content's wishes fulfilled.
Yeah, and we haven't quite finalized plans yet, but hopefully we're going to be able to do some podcasting stuff with the week of E3, right? We're running down.
Yeah, every year on this network, I kind of take that week off because it's Gaming Nirvana. So my wife calls it Nerdvana, which is probably more accurate. And I basically spend the whole day watching press briefings and reading news and playing games, and it's kind of my staycation that I have every year. And we try to do podcasts each and every night of E3, and we're going to try to do that this year as well. I was hoping Will would be on each and every one, but he's going to be hobnobbing with all of the E3 elite and whining and dining all of his PR contacts, I'm sure. So we'll try whatever we can do to get Will on, but we have some other people that are eager to jump in as well for some of the shows that we do. So if there's anything specific you'd love to see us cover in podcast form here on the network, definitely let us know as well. Awesome. Well, let's jump right into the show, Will. What do you say?
Sounds great.
Our intro was so slow. Our intro music hadn't even finished. There was like another 30 seconds of intro music. So we were
totally not like us.
Yeah, we usually ramble forever. So it was so quick and to the point, which is nice. But let's do this. Let's get into the start of our news.
End of line.
All right, End of Line this week, which is the ironically named part of the show, which is called End of Line, even though it starts off the show. because we're stupid like that. Our biggest story of the week, the one that we think is the most important, is the rumors, substantiated rumors and a lot of unsubstantiated claims that YouTube was in talks to buy Twitch. There was also some other news that came up around this, that Microsoft initially was the one that kind of started the bidding on this service, and then it basically moved into the point where YouTube was offering, I believe it was $1 billion rumored to buy Twitch, which is a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's half as much as Ballmer just paid for a basketball team, but that is still a lot of cash. And we haven't gotten any more news from this. We haven't had any more statements. Some people that are familiar with the situation have said that Twitch is actually planning to use these offers to look for funding themselves. So go onto the stock market and either raise venture capital or sell shares and try to raise $1 billion that way, so they can maintain full ownership of their service. So, Will, YouTube buying Twitch, how horrible would that be?
Well, so it's weird because this rumor was so strong. It was almost like people were reporting that the buyout had already taken place, when there's a fever pitch of rumors and then all of a sudden just like silence. And so I'm kind of feeling a little bit, I don't know where I stand now, because at first, you kind of have a knee-jerk reaction, and now I've had some time to settle down, and I'm like, whoa, it may not even be happening now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I understand people's concerns. I think the biggest concern is YouTube's draconian copyright claims that they put on everything. And Twitch makes a lot of money for people, right? So that is a huge concern for them.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. This would have been way worse if Microsoft actually bought Twitch. I mean, that would mean that this would be the service for the Xbox. There would have been, they might have opened it up to other people. There might have still been all of the Evo conferences and all of the League of Legends stuff streamed on it. But that within a short period of time, all that stuff would dry up, because a lot of those people probably wouldn't want to do it on a service owned by Microsoft. Then you'd have to have another service that would pop up. There's a couple other game streaming sites which haven't really caught fire. Twitch was kind of the thing that really caught fire, and it was kind of in a right place at right time sort of thing. But $1 billion, I mean, that seems like nothing to me when you think about what this could be to a company like YouTube. It seems like live streaming video games is kind of the next big evolution of multiplayer gaming. So there was going to an arcade, putting quarters up on the aisle, getting in lines for games. That turned into couch co-op. That turned into like local LAN play with crappy networks on PC, turned into local play on consoles, turned into online play through modems and then network. And now we basically have multiplayer games in our pockets with our iPhones and Vitas and 3DSs, and then all of our consoles. Kind of the next evolution was watching people play. And I know that was a big focus of PlayStation to bake that into the console. Some of the original claims were that you'd be able to watch your friend play a game, just see what he's doing and pop in and help him and take control of his game. And there was all that stuff. None of that stuff happened, but it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it hasn't happened yet. We still don't know if it's coming or not.
Exactly. It could happen, but that just showed kind of where Sony was on here. They kind of saw this as kind of the next evolution of gaming, which I kind of liked. I was like, yeah, I mean, I love to I love to play, and I love to watch people play when I'm not playing. And for a company to jump in and get the leader right now that has their service baked into all of the major consoles, it's kind of like a no-brainer. $1 billion seems like nothing when there's that much video being created, especially for YouTube, who's already selling ads on video everywhere. To get all that extra video and all those extra ad impressions, like $1 billion seems like just a drop in the bucket. But if Twitch is deciding to go out on their own and kind of build the service from the ground up like they started. I mean, this used to be a Justin.tv, and then they started another service called Twitch, and now they've changed their company name to Twitch. They're not Justin.tv anymore, and Justin.tv is kind of falling by the wayside because this is a moneymaker. I kind of like the idea of the leaders in the market kind of sticking to their guns and doing stuff their own way and not being beholden to a corporate overlord, whether it's Microsoft or YouTube. I mean, even if PlayStation bought it, if Nintendo bought it, it would be horrible for that service. I think keeping it as their own thing is probably a good thing, and then they can raise money and have total control over the future of their service.
Yep, I agree. Ideally, they stay independent in my mind. If YouTube does end up buying them, I'm optimistic and hoping that they would it would kind of be ran differently and certain I don't know, a little more lenient. So because if you've ever put up Let's Plays on YouTube that has pretty much any sort of background music, you're going to get a copyright claim, and that's really kind of frustrating. And
yeah,
lots of publishers and game developers they're okay with this. Nintendo's actually recently trying to put their hands in that pot a little bit, but it's free advertising for people, and so they don't really. Oh, so what? People are making money off their game. It's getting that game out. It's free advertising.
Yeah. I mean, I see it both ways. I see Nintendo's thought on this. It's like they made the game. And other people are making money off the game. It's no different than selling pirated copies to them. To me, that goes a little bit far, but I kind of understand where they're sort of coming from, where they want to get a piece. The fact that when you upload, like Mario Kart, a game that I've been playing, it just came out today. It has an option to upload directly to YouTube, and when you do, those videos are immediately content ID claimed by Nintendo, so you can't make money off of them. Nintendo announced this week that they're planning on doing a affiliate program where you can sign up with a Nintendo affiliate program somewhere. There's really no details on it, and if you do so, you are able to then share the revenue on these videos. So you can upload or you can Let's Play, and Nintendo can content ID claim it, but then you can get a percentage of the ad revenue, and Nintendo will get a percentage of the ad revenue. And that seems like the logical way to go for some of these larger companies.
Yeah, it's a partnership, and it's supporting both kind of sides, the content creators and Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So, YouTube buying Twitch, maybe, probably not. I just remember I flipped on Reddit and was on my PS4 subreddit that I usually check a couple times a day, and that was the number one story: YouTube buying Twitch. And I remember feeling this like huge sense of dread. It was like, oh no, what has happened? Because everything that I do is through Twitch right now, and that's really going to impact what I do to put these podcasts out into the world. Thankfully, that hasn't happened, so that is a good thing.
Well, and Twitch isn't. They're smart, and if what they have is so important to gaming that both of the two major console manufacturers, Sony and Microsoft, are baking that service into the console, then that's a pretty big statement. Mm-hmm. That's Microsoft and Sony recognizing how important live streaming is to video gaming.
Yep.
And Twitch isn't going to let that go without a fight.
No, for sure not. So really, really, really cool. So let's jump into the rest of the news. Sony kind of changed something this week. The PlayStation Plus, forever, when you became a PlayStation Plus member, you got access to the Instant Game Collection, where immediately upon signing in, you'd have access to about 10 games. They always had this stable of older games that were sticking around. And Sony is changing that. And they're changing it. Some people think for the better, some people think for the worse. I'm kind of on the fence right now. But what they're doing is basically they're adding new six games to the service a month. 2 PS4 games, 2 PS3 games, and 2 Vita games. Plus, Vita might get a couple extras, and same with the PlayStation 3 because of crossplay. Some of the games will have crossplay enabled, so you'll be able to get the other versions of them. Instead of having 1 PS4 game, 4 PS3 games, and 2 Vita, they're kind of playing around with the service a little bit to kind of make things kind of equal across it. So for June, PS4 is going to get Trine 2, The Complete Story, and Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate, which are 2 really great games. PlayStation 3 is going to be getting NBA 2K14 and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, so 2 retail releases, which is nice. And the Vita is going to be getting Mutant Mudds Deluxe and Terraria. And as soon as Sony announced this, the amount of hate and whining on their official blog posts was just like, what is wrong with you people? Like, this isn't a service for you. This is a service for everybody. Sure, you've played NBA. You don't like sports games, and you've played the Sly Cooper. Well, this isn't for you. This is for everybody. But just the amount of hate that was coming out for Sony making this change, which I think is a good change, to be able to get 2 games on every console every month, plus any extras that come out. The other big change to this is these games aren't going to be slowly rolled out over the month. They're all going to be available on the first week of the month. So every start of every month, you're going to get 6 games. And then you can play them for the rest of the month and not have to worry about going in and checking and downloading the ones that you might have forgotten that were coming out. It's just going to be, boom, start of the month, 6 games, play them, have fun. Next month, 6 more games. So, I don't know, Will, what are your thoughts on this change?
Well, let me ask you this. Do the games stick around each month, or is it a limited time? I mean, I know you can download them, and once you download them, they're yours.
Yeah.
But are they replaced each month with
Yes.
6 new games?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a good thing. It adds an additional PS4 game. I doubt the content's really going to be worse than what it was before what's been available for the older consoles.
They had a couple like perennial games, like you had Uncharted, you had XCOM, you had a couple games that have been around for about 8-9 months, and basically what they're doing is just getting rid of those and then replacing it with fresh games the start of every month, and then you have to download them before the end of that month to get access to them. Otherwise, they'll be replaced with 6 new games. I guess it's just a way for Sony to save a little bit of bucks, so people just don't go into their systems. And I know a lot of people that they don't have a PS4, but they're going to get one eventually. So they go on to the Sony's web store and they download all the PS4 games. I mean, that's what I did before I had a PlayStation 4. And Sony encourages this. But now they're not going to be paying extra download credit dollars for games that probably aren't going to be played or maybe won't be played for a while. So I think it's a good change, personally. And you got to remember, 2 years ago at E3, there was a bunch of games that were thrown on the Instant Game Collection. Last year at E3, there was a bunch of games. I'm sure there's going to be another drop of some, like, I'm sure there's going to be a retail disc-based PlayStation 4 game that's going to be given to you right after the E3 conference. That seems like kind of a no-brainer. They'll probably throw out NAC or Need for Speed or something just to say, hey, remember, we have this service, check it out. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing, and hopefully this allows Sony to have some bigger, better games, since they're only going to be lasting on the system for about a month.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. So PS Plus changing, and the thing that I immediately thought of when I saw this is that this is mirroring kind of what the Games with Gold is becoming because of PlayStation Plus. So PlayStation Plus has been around for years. Games with Gold started giving you 2 games a month that were about 8 years old. They were horrible. With the whole restructuring and the Connectless Xbox One, they announced that Games with Gold is going to be changing. You're going to get 2 games on the Xbox One and 2 games on the Xbox 360. And then now you have PlayStation Plus, that is the leader in this kind of service. That's like, yeah, that's kind of a good idea. Okay, let's do that. And then they went back to that. So you seem to have feature parity across both services now, which which is a good thing. And then it's going to allow these services to kind of innovate on each other and offer other special features to encourage people to jump from one to the other or whatever.
Exactly. That competition.
Exactly. Cool. So PlayStation Plus getting some big changes. Look forward to a game of Palooza at the start of every month that you can then play on all your consoles. And I do encourage you, if you don't have a PS4 yet, log into the Sony web store and download all the PS4 games. Do it for the Vita as well. Those get added to your download list. And then if eventually you do get one of those consoles, you're going to have a huge library. Like when I turned on my PS4 for the first time, I had about 12 games I could download. Because I had some cross-play games, and then I had all the freebies that they had given out on PlayStation Plus, and it was just like, oh, I don't have to go buy a game now. I have all this great stuff to play, and I do encourage all of you guys to do that as well. Just take advantage of the system while you can, because if you download them, they remain in your library forever as long as you're a paying member. They don't disappear from your library, so there's no reason to not download them, even if you don't play them right away. All right, moving on. There was a couple teasers. Did you see those teaser images that were thrown up by E3 or EA rather this week? Will?
I did. They look kind of familiar. Like I don't know. Are they bringing a mobile game to the PlayStation 4?
I think they might be, maybe something like that.
Franchise at least.
Well, they were teasing a bunch of stuff. There was like Sly Shooter, and it was a pea shooter from Plants vs Zombies with a Sly Cooper hat. There was it was the Fat Princess one. I can't remember what it was, but it's a piranha plant. What was it? Fat Eater or something. I can't remember what it was, but they were using Sony IP and basically repurposing that into the Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare world, which was awesome. When I first saw the one with Sly, like the pea shooter with the Sly Cooper hat, I'm just like, oh, this makes me very happy. And then it was announced later this week that the multiplayer shooter that was an Xbox One timed exclusive is now finally coming to the PlayStation side of things. You'll be able to download Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare on the PS3 and PS4 on August 19th. You can basically pre-order now, and you get a bunch of digital card packs as a pre-order bonus when you download it. There's a hat pack, so you get you get some Ratchet and Clank hats and some Sly Cooper hats and Fat Princess hats, because that is important to some people, I guess. And you'll finally be able to play what is the one game that is on the Xbox One that I really hate that I don't have access to. Titanfall is whatever it is, but this one is what I want. I want Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. It was one of my most anticipated games at last year's E3 when I saw the trailer for it. So, Will, have you played this game on the Xbox One?
No, I've been holding out on it. It came out the week before Titanfall, and right. I knew that was going to be my multiplayer shooter, and so I didn't buy it. But it's just a matter of time. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this game, and it looks like a blast. And just the stylized shooter, it seems very unique and something different. So yeah, I'm excited. So I might even wait to pick it up on PS4 now.
Yeah. Me too. I'm just chatting in the chat room. Sorry, I was just doing some chat. Kyle K in the chat room says that is also the same day as Diablo 3 coming to next gen as well, which is kind of like an oh crap moment for me. I want that, but I also kind of want to play my Diablo stuff on the next gen consoles. So I'll probably buy both because I'm an idiot, and I might actually have more time to play games when it comes to August, which will be a very good thing. All right, moving on. Next up, Sony announced this week and promptly sold out in record time that they were partnering with a bunch of movie theaters across North America. Unfortunately, not one in Manitoba, which made me very sad and angry. But they're going to be partnering with them to live stream the Sony's E3 2014 press conference. So it's going to be in 40 to 50 movie theaters nationwide. There is a sign-up sheet on the PlayStation blog. They're all sold out now, so I don't know if they're gonna get some more locations or other like repeat performance times or something. But it was free. You just had to register on the website and you'd get a ticket. You're going to be able to watch it in HD. There's going to be exclusive footage that was going to be shown after the event. And they're even going to be doing some free giveaways at these events. Kind of a really cool way to bring E3 home to you. Similar to kind of what Nintendo did last year, where you could go to Best Buy and play a bunch of the E3 demos on the Wii U systems right inside of Best Buy. Kind of a really cool thing. Will, are you going to go to some movie theater to watch this? Oh, wait, you're going to E3. Never mind. You don't have to do this.
Yeah, well, I won't be down there on Monday, but because I'm already kind of, trying to play nice with the wife, I think I'm going to spend the night with her the night before and just stream it.
Nice, cool. Well, maybe we'll be able to do a podcast that night then. Oh, wait, You're spending time with the wife. Never mind.
She goes to sleep early.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. But yeah, it's kind of a cool little thing that Sony's doing. I'm stoked for it. If they do more stuff like this, that's only a good thing in my books. But next time, Sony, get a place in Manitoba, because I will be the first one to sign up. And there's a lot of rabid PlayStation fans here in Winnipeg. So please do that, Sony. Please, I beg you.
I know you're listening, so just do it.
Yeah, they're our biggest fans, apparently. All right, moving on. Mojang announced last week on the 22nd. So it was about a week ago. It was right before my birthday. So I remember this was kind of like a birthday present to me to be like, oh yeah, I'll be able to get this. Except it was not coming out right away. But anyway, Mojang, creator of Minecraft, 4J Studios is the maker of the Xbox 360 and PS3 ports of Minecraft. And it was announced that Minecraft will be coming to next gen in August. Even better, if you are a Sony PlayStation 3 Minecraft player, you'll get a free copy of the Vita version through crossplay. So you'll be able to download the Vita version of Minecraft for free, which is awesome. Even better, if you own Minecraft on your 360 or Minecraft on your PS3, you'll be able to upgrade to the next generation version for your Xbox One or PlayStation 4 for $5, which is amazing. I didn't think that we would get a deal, let alone a deal that is so cheap, considering that the game costs $20. Like to get a 75% discount because you've already supported them, that is a huge a huge thing for Mojang to do, and super stoked. Also, I don't know, Will, what are your thoughts? Are you going to be getting the PS4 version?
Absolutely. I have the PS3 version, so this way you and I can play the 4 together. And it's awesome that they're doing this because, $20 really isn't a lot. How many times have you purchased it already on different systems?
I own it on my PC. I own it on iPad. I own it on the PS3. I would have gladly spent another $20 to buy it on the PS4. I don't know. I would buy it, but $5, thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's the point, right? Is like it's the cost of entry is so small comparatively to any other game, really, or a lot of other games. Yeah. It's like, okay, I want to support them because I love the game and I just want to keep growing. So here's another $20 because I want to play it on this system. But the fact that they're like, you know what, we appreciate all that you've done for us. So since you've already bought a copy of the game here, why don't you just get it at a extreme discount, 75% off?
Amazing. I support them by buying all the DLC that comes out, which is great. Just to get the different texture packs and things like that. They're kind of useless little things once you play with them a couple times, but I like throwing a couple bucks to continue them to develop and add features to get it closer to the PC version. I can't wait until the next gen version, because apparently all of the texture packs and character packs that you've bought will just move over as well. Your save games will move over. They haven't said how that's going to happen yet, but that is going to happen. The next gen versions have increased view distance. The levels are bigger. So I think on the PS3 and Xbox One, your worlds are about 600 blocks by 600 blocks. So pretty small. Like you can walk from one end of the world to the other pretty quickly. Or actually, I guess it's double that because it's minus 600 to plus 600. But it's still pretty easy to get across the world from one to another. Apparently the next gen worlds are going to be 36 times that, because there's going to be like a 6x6 grid of the world that it makes for last gen. So I can't wait. that's going to be awesome. More stuff to find, more villages to find, more strongholds and desert temples and jungle temples to find. I'm super stoked for this. I'm a huge Minecraft fan. We played a lot here in my house, and just the thought of playing it on next gen makes me really happy. The one feature that I really hoped for that I knew 99% chance that it wouldn't happen was last gen to current gen crossplay. It would have been awesome to move my PS3 upstairs, have Kara play on that. I could play on my PS4. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but yeah, whatever. Maybe eventually we'll get a Vita TV and be able to do something weird with that through some game streaming thing, or just get another PS4, which I won't be doing, but that would be another option. But anyway, next gen Minecraft coming in August, and I couldn't be happier.
I just wish it was sooner, but that's probably the only drawback to this news story.
Yeah, exactly. A couple months to play everything else that is coming out. There's so many games out there now, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Minecraft will suck a lot of hours out of my life again, like it did the first time. I think we put almost 100 hours into the first world that we created here.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it is a lot of fun. So Minecraft Next Gen coming in August. All right, last up this week, before we get into what we've been playing, kind of a weird story. Harmonix announced this week that they have actually gone into restructuring. They've laid off 37 full-time employees. Alex Rigopoulos, CEO and co-founder, formerly CEO and co-founder, is now moving into a different role in the company. They have a new CEO. Yeah, it's interesting. This is on top of the successful Kickstarter that they did, where they made like $900,000 to make Amplitude again, and right after that they lay off a bunch of people. It came out after where they said that this layoff has nothing to do with the Xbox One unbundling the Kinect. But you know, this has to be the thing. They had a huge studio that was working on Kinect games, Dance Central and Fantasia, and now that the Xbox One is not going to come with a Kinect for probably any future console being sold, there's going to be very few Kinects being sold because no one wanted it, apparently. They had to get rid of that. They had to basically say, okay, well, all these games that we're working on, we're canceling them and we're going to move on to other things. So kind of a sad thing. I really like Harmonix, and I like the stuff that they do. It's kind of sad that they had to lay off people. I hope all the people that did lose their job have found employment or will in the near future.
Yeah, this sucks. I mean, we have these types of news stories far too often, and they've, at least the last couple weeks, have kind of been in the news in a positive light because of the Amplitude Kickstarter that was successful. And so you know, you're kind of excited, especially given the fact that they were pretty outspoken of their disappointment with Microsoft and their decision to remove the Kinect as a integrated part of the Xbox One. It just sucks because you don't see, it's rare you see decisions like that have such a butterfly effect with game developers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is really, really sad. Hopefully that is all that happens to Harmonix, and they're able to stay around as a viable studio now that they are kind of independently owned. Because I like their games from top to bottom, so I would hate for them to go away at some point in the future.
Well, and they were the game company. I mean, the music-based game company.
Yeah. I mean, for Frequency, Amplitude, Guitar Hero, Rock Band. I mean, it was they started it, and they were the best at doing it.
Well, and they have this fall. They have that Disney Fantasia Music Evolved game coming out too. That's also one of theirs.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's hopefully the announcement at E3 is that they're coming out with a PS4 version as well.
Yeah,
because I honestly think there's the same number of PlayStation 4 cameras out there now than there are Xbox One cameras. Seeing as Sony can't keep these in stock anywhere, still. there's rumors that Sony has sold 8 million PS4s, and they've probably sold, I don't know, 2-3 million of these cameras. Xbox has sold 4 million consoles, so maybe a little bit more now since the last time Microsoft announced numbers. So there's probably going to be close to the same amount of cameras on both sides. So it would probably make a lot of sense for them to see if they can't do some sort of port over to PS4 as well, and hit the biggest possible target to get this game played by the largest number of people.
Yep.
All right, cool, man. Well, let's jump into the end of the show. It's a quick one today, like we said it would be. We're going to get right into what we've been playing. We're going to talk a little bit of Watch Dogs, I think, Will. I see that is the top of your what you've been playing. So what are your thoughts on Watch Dogs?
I'm really enjoying it. I told you that, I don't know, I think I was a little bit too much on the hype train, because the first night I played the game, I really enjoyed it and I was having fun and everything was new and interesting, but just something was missing and I couldn't put my finger on that something, and I still haven't put my finger on that something. And so I think it was just me having impossible expectations, because I love everything about the game. Honestly, so far I haven't found anything I dislike about it and the experience of it. What about you? What are kind of your initial thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was the same way. I've only played about 2 hours of Watch Dogs, which is so sad. I've had this game for a week, and I've only played 2 hours just because my schedule is just ridiculous now. Those 2 hours that I played, I streamed most of it. I did a hour 45-minute stream on Wednesday, I want to say, basically getting into the first few missions, and I really dig it. Like you, I was kind of a victim of the hype train. There's no way that it could have lived up to this hype for anybody. People are saying, oh, this is the first example of a true next-gen game. It's like, well, no, it's a cross-gen game. It's coming out on the PS3 and the 360 as well. So if you were expecting infamous Second Son looking graphics, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. If you're thinking Order, the Order, what's the year after the Order? 1877 or something? Whatever it is, if you're looking for that quality graphics, you're going to be sorely disappointed. All the trailers that are on TV right now, the commercials have like Aiden Pierce running through the city and going into a subway. The game looks nothing like that. So a lot of people are going to be disappointed graphically. But to me, the game looks pretty damn beautiful. The world is nice. The day-night is nice. Even though it is a cross-gen game running on the Assassin's Creed engine, it is still a nice-looking game.
Right. And I don't think that we would be as sensitive to it if there wasn't, the original E3 announcement game trailer that they showed was beautiful. I do think it was in-game, but not this game.
Yeah, it was in-game with an engine running on faster hardware than what we finally got on this console generation.
Well, and it doesn't even compare to the ultra settings on PC. I've looked at comparison.
Yeah, it's pretty close on both. I think the Xbox One even looks a little bit better than the PS4 on some of the videos that I've seen. It looks pretty close. You get a lot of the texture of the clothing is a little bit less on the consoles, and the facial, like the facial hair and other stuff, looks a little bit more blurry. But it's pretty close to what the PC is, and you don't need a $500 video card to play the game. You just need a $500 console, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, well, and sandbox games are games that, I mean, Infamous was a game that it's astounding because it is, in my opinion, it's still the best looking game out there right now, at least on consoles. And it was an open world game, but comparing it to Watch Dogs and how much you can do, I feel like Watch Dogs has entirely different games, right?
Watch Dogs, the map seems way bigger,
and the activities, you could do side stuff, but the how varying it is in Watch Dogs, it's definitely more of a GTA than Infamous is. And that, by its sheer nature, is always something that taxes, especially graphic engines, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's great, and it's a lot of fun. There's a ton of stuff to do in it. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine today because the obvious comparison people make is GTA, especially GTA 5, since it's still relatively new. But you know what? Like I hear the last Saints Row is really good.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Before that, I was never interested in Saints Row because if I'm playing GTA, I want to play GTA. I don't want to play a GTA clone.
Right.
And Watch Dogs, although similar, it's the same genre for sure. It's different enough where it's like, okay, good. I'm not playing GTA. I don't want to feel like I'm playing GTA. I want to play something different.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was just chatting in the chat room while you were doing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of the same way. This game seems to me more to GTA than Infamous was. There's a lot of the same thing. You're doing tasks for people. You're stealing cars. You're driving them from one place to another. I really like it. And as I was chatting before we started, or did I talk about this while we were recording? I can't even remember. But I was watching one of the first big missions where you're basically going into an apartment building or an office building, and then you're going through the foyer, the atrium kind of area. Then you're going to upstairs and basically hacking a laptop. I basically went through it where I would blow up all the bombs in people's pockets, which is ridiculous that they have bombs in their pockets, but yeah, whatever. I'm shooting people in the head. I'm making my way up, and then I'm hacking. And then I watched someone else stream it today, and he basically did it without killing anybody except near the end. And it's just like, oh, maybe I'm playing this game wrong. Maybe I should look at a more stealthy way to do it. And it kind of struck me as, wow, there is a lot to do with this game, or to do in this game. And there's also a lot of ways that you can accomplish everything that you want to do, which is pretty cool. A lot of games have said that there's unlimited ways to attack your problems. Like there was a Dishonored, so there was different ways to do it. You could kill someone and throw him in a dumpster, or you could follow him somewhere, or you could poison him. But it was really the only thing you could do is kill the guy, get the key, open the door, get your way out.
Right.
This seems like there's a little bit more of I don't know, a freedom on how you want to accomplish your end goal. Maybe that is not true. Maybe it's all basically you kill the guy, whether you're killing him remotely or with a gun. But from what I've seen with some of the streaming gameplay, it looks like there is definitely a lot more, I don't know, latitude for your choices.
Well, and then they don't. It seems to me that they don't incentivize one way or another. They don't punish you if you want to go through guns a-blazing, or you don't get more stuff if you just hack your way through. I can tell you that I've literally hacked certain things in the game without either stepping foot in there or killing a single guy. So I mean, it's completely possible. I don't think it's possible every event. I played one last night where I couldn't find a camera, and it could have just been I didn't find a camera that had the line of sight for the final hacking goal. But yeah, that's cool because it's not a buzzword, but it's common PR speak to say, one goal, but you can accomplish it multiple different ways. And yeah, but like you just said, it's okay, I can poison the guy or I can stab him in the back, but it's all for
it's killing the guy to get to the next step.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's nice. This is different.
Yeah, and kind of along the same lines with you. I saw today watching that stream that some people have hidden cameras on their body, so you can actually you can go to the different cameras on the wall, or you could find a guy walking around with a camera on him and use that to get to different parts of the building that you're in. I didn't even know that because I was going in and shooting everybody in the face. So apparently I was being the psychopath Aiden Pierce when I should have been the more hackery Aiden Pierce. So I think I'm gonna do that when I get back into the game.
Well, and a couple times where there's this one guy who was walking, the only camera that I could get to the hacking goal, it was near this guy who was walking, but he would always stop. He would always stop and turn around. And I was like, why can't I get this guy? And so I found another area where you could distract him, get his attention to make him walk over there, which puts him in range of the hackable objects. So that's cool. I mean, I'm not a huge puzzle game guy, but I didn't even realize that I was solving a puzzle right there in a fun setup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. Any other thoughts about Watch Dogs? Do you hate the driving? Like everybody said, it's like the driving is the worst. I don't know. I find that once you get used to it, it's no different than GTA.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like there's more diversity in the driving. It's very different, but it seems like you really do. Each car has its own characteristics that you have to kind of learn. I dig that though. It's something else to kind of learn and play with.
Yep.
The only weird thing about this game, a lot of copies leaked before the release date, so they were leaking this time last week with people getting it in their hands 3 days early and giving first impressions. There's also a lot of speculation of the embargo being lifted the day of release is kind of indicative of not having confidence in their product.
Sure.
I don't agree with that personally.
Yeah, I mean, it could have gone either way. There's a lot of games that they don't send out review copies for good reasons, and there's also the games that that don't have that problem. The games are sent out. The embargo is the day of release, and they're getting 8s and 9s out of 10. So it can really go either way.
Yeah, well, and so I've heard it. The reviews have been pretty much positive across the board, but I've heard a lot of firsthand experiences of non-professionals critiquing the game much lower than that. And I guess I would say that if you're interested in the game and you're kind of on the fence, I wouldn't let either way sway you. I might check out some gameplay vids. I've been really, really happy with the game, and I've been kind of surprised at some of the negativity I've heard, because that has not been my experience at all.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I dig it.
Definitely. Cool. So besides hacking around with Aiden Pierce, what have you been doing on your gaming systems of choice?
Well, since that's a sandbox game taking up most of my time, the only other game I've really played this week is Titanfall. Still messing around with the Expedition DLC. I can't remember if I talked about it on last show, but
a little bit.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's my social game with friends. So I have a few IRL friends that I play a couple nights a week that game, and I dig it. The game itself though is, I don't know, it's still fun. The DLC was kind of helped reinvigorate my interest in the game, but for whatever reason, I don't think it has the long-term legs I was hoping it was going to for the first-person genre. So, but I'll continue to play it again as my social game. So that's pretty much it for me. Have you played anything other than Watch Dogs this week?
A couple hours of Watch Dogs. I played Lego the movie, the game. I picked up a copy for my Vita because it was on sale for $20, and I thought, hey, it's the Vita version of the console version, so I'm going to pick it up, get it for $20. It is not the Vita version of the console version. It is a port of the DS version, which essentially takes the open world gameplay of the latest Lego games. So Marvel, DC versus Batman 2, whatever that was called, DC Superheroes with Batman 2, whatever, I can't remember what it was called, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, those types that had more of an open world feel. And it turns it into 15 levels with 3 sub-levels, and those 3 sub-levels take about 30 seconds to 5 minutes to complete, depending on those ones. So your gameplay is basically run through a level and get one or 2 or 3 or 4 of the goals for that level completed, and then replaying it until you've done all 10. So I played it over a day. I platinumed it in like a day, and I've had no time to play, so it was maybe a 10-hour platinum. So I probably did it in about 10 hours. So I did it over a weekend. I was doing a lot of work, server work, so I had a lot of downtime. So I'd play a couple missions, and then the next day I had the trophy cleanup, and it was platinumed. It was
nice.
Probably the worst game I've played in a long time. It's nothing like the other Lego games on the console. So I am really sad that I purchased that one, but I platinumed it, so I'm continuing my platinuming of Lego games that I've been trying to do this year. So that's a thing. So I played that a little bit. But other than that, I've been playing Mario Kart. Came out today, picked it up this afternoon, and played a couple hours. with the kids. I've only played 2 of the cups, unlocked a couple characters, unlocked a couple of the other cups, and it is pretty damn awesome. If you have a Wii U, you need to go buy this game, if only for the fact that you get a second game for free by buying this game. You register on Club Nintendo and you get either Pikmin 3, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, what is it? Was it Wii U Party? And there's another one that I can't think of right off the top of my head. But you get one of those games for free as a bonus for buying it, which is awesome. But this game, it's HD. It looks like it's HD. It looks like it's a game that's been created by some other development team, not Nintendo, because it looks so darn pretty. Not that things like Mario Galaxy didn't look pretty, but it just looks super polished. There's depths of field in some of the levels. There's fog. You're going through the water, and everything is kind of like a little tint shift as you're going through the water. It looks really, really, really good. As I said, I've only played 2 of the missions, or 2 of the cups, and I know this is going to be a game that's going to be in my house for a long time. The kids are enamored with it. That's all they did. I beat 2 cups in about a half hour, and then for the other hour and a half they were racing each other and just having a lot of fun shooting each other with red shells and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be the new game that they want to play all the time, which is awesome. I dig it too. It has some really cool social functions where it automatically records and creates videos after every race, and you can upload them to YouTube. You can save them to your Miiverse posts. It's just doing some things that I never thought Nintendo would do. Full online tournaments. I haven't done any of the online stuff yet, but I'll get into that over the next week. Really, really impressed with Mario Kart. I didn't know what to expect. I heard all the great reviews. We had Joe Foreman on the show. He was playing it at the time because he got a review copy a month ago, since Nintendo was sending out all the review copies that early. And he said it was awesome. Under NDA, he couldn't say much more. But yeah, I really, really, really like it. So hopefully this does some good things for the Wii U. Hopefully they sell a million consoles because of it. I don't think they will, but it would be a very, very good thing for Nintendo. This is probably one of their best releases on the next gen console so far. So I'm really, really, really digging it. And we'll play a lot more of that over the next couple months with the family and the kids. And the unlocking progression is really nice. You get a new character every time that you place in a trophy cup, get a gold trophy in the trophy cup. But you also collect coins on the map. Coins are back. So if you collect 10, you get a bit of a top speed boost. But all those coins are added up, and every 50 or so, you unlock a new cart part. And then you can customize your carts that way. So it encourages a lot of replay and a lot of tinkering with your different carts. So yeah, Mario Kart, go buy it. It is awesome. It's definitely worth getting, and all the reviews that are saying it's like a 9 out of 10, they're not wrong. It's a really, really well done game. Congrats to Nintendo. Unfortunately, it's only Nintendo making stuff on the Wii U, so I guess we have to wait till the next Nintendo game to really get excited about the Wii U again, which is sad. Yeah. All right, well, that's going to about do it for me. Anything to clear up or chat about before the end of the show, or do you want to just call it a close?
I think we can end this.
Awesome. Well, thanks to everybody for coming in and tuning in live. We love that you guys come and join us live each and every Friday night at 10 p.m. Central. Let us know what you think of the show. Head on over to vgpodcasts@gmail.com and send us an email. Head on over to vgpodcast@gmail.com. That doesn't work. Email us at vgpodcast@gmail.com, or head on over to vgpodcast.com and click send us a voicemail on the side. You can call our voicemail line directly, which is area code 505 VG Podcasts. All right, everybody, enjoy your gaming. E3 is coming up close. Let us know what you want to hear out of E3, and we'll send our man on the streets, Will Kelly, to get you the scoop that you are craving. And we'll also try to do some podcasts every night of E3 week as well. So, Will, thanks again for joining me.
Thank you. As always, it's a blast.
All right. And everybody take it easy, and we'll talk to you in about a week's time. Later, everybody.